As winter approaches, the key to understanding our seasonal forecast lies far from our doorsteps, out in the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean. This immense body of water acts as a giant engine, quietly influencing weather patterns across the globe, even as we go about our daily lives. One of the most powerful forces at play here is a phenomenon known as La Niña. While it might sound mysterious, its effects are anything but subtle. La Niña occurs when the surface waters along the equator in the central and eastern Pacific cool to temperatures noticeably below average. This cooling isn't just a minor dip, it's enough to set off a chain reaction that can ripple through the atmosphere, shifting weather patterns not just locally, but around the entire planet. As these waters cool, the jet stream, a fast-moving river of air high above our heads, responds by shifting northward. This subtle movement can have dramatic consequences, steering powerful storms and surges of cold air into regions that might not expect them, while leaving others unusually dry or mild. The result? We see dramatic changes in winter weather across the United States. Some areas brace for heavier snowfalls and colder temperatures, while others may experience drier, warmer conditions than usual. These shifts can impact everything from travel plans to agriculture, and even our energy bills. La Niña is just one phase of a larger climate pattern called the El Niño Southern Oscillation, or ENSO for short. This cycle alternates between warm, El Niño, cool, La Niña, and neutral phases, each bringing its own unique set of weather impacts to different parts of the world. Meteorologists keep a close eye on these ocean temperatures, using satellites, buoys, and advanced computer models. By tracking even small changes in the Pacific, they can make more accurate long-range forecasts, giving us a valuable heads-up on what to expect in the months ahead. For the winter of 2025-2026, all signs point to a strong La Niña event. This means we're likely to see a classic La Niña pattern unfold, with colder, snowier conditions in the northern US and milder, drier weather in the south. This forecast gives us a roadmap, helping us anticipate where the brunt of winter's cold and snow will hit, and where warmth and sunshine might dominate. It's a powerful tool for everyone, from city planners to farmers, and for families planning their winter activities. So as you prepare for the coming winter, remember that it all starts with those cool Pacific waters. The story of our weather begins thousands of miles away, with subtle shifts that can shape our daily lives in surprising ways. Now, let's take a closer look at how this powerful pattern is expected to play out across the country and what it could mean for you this season. If you're in the northern US, brace for a colder, stormier winter. The jet stream's northward shift lets Arctic air plunge south, keeping places like Seattle, Minneapolis, and Buffalo in a deep freeze. The Pacific Northwest will see frequent storms and heavy mountain snow. Great news for skiers. In the Midwest, fast-moving Alberta clippers bring bursts of snow and bitter cold. The Great Lakes and Northeast can expect major lake-effect snow and the threat of powerful nor'easters. This winter, the North faces below-average temperatures and above-average precipitation. Get your furnace ready and stock up on hot chocolate. Classic winter is coming. The North's theme: cold, snowy, and relentless. Meanwhile, the South will experience a very different winter, warmer and drier than usual. The jet stream blocks storms, leaving high pressure and sunshine in its wake. States like Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, and Florida can expect mild temperatures and fewer cold snaps. While pleasant, this dryness raises concerns about drought, water supplies, and wildfire risk. Texas and the Southeast rely on winter rain to recharge reservoirs. This year, that relief may not come. Fewer freezes also mean more pests survive, impacting agriculture. The South's big picture: enjoy the warmth, but watch for drought. La Niña splits the country: snow in the north, sun in the south. Water conservation will be key as the season progresses. Out west, La Niña brings a tale of two regions. The Pacific Northwest can count on a wet, snowy winter, great for water supplies and ski resorts. But Southern California faces a drier outlook, with the main storm track staying north. Sometimes, late-season atmospheric rivers can bring much-needed rain, but that's never guaranteed. California's fate depends on subtle jet stream shifts. Just a few hundred miles can make all the difference. For now, expect a dry start, with a slim chance for a wetter finish if the pattern shifts. The West's story: reliable snow up north, uncertainty and hope for rain down south. All eyes will be on the skies for those crucial storms. La Niña sets the stage for winter, shaping the overall mood of the season, but it's far from the only force at work in our atmosphere. There are other powerful players that can step in and completely change the story, sometimes in just a matter of days. One of the most important is the jet stream, a fast-moving river of air high above the Earth. The jet stream's shape and position act like a steering wheel for weather systems, deciding where cold air and storms will travel. When the jet stream becomes wavy, it can send frigid air plunging south or allow warm air to surge north, leading to wild swings in temperature and precipitation. Then there's the polar vortex, a massive pool of icy air that usually swirls around the North Pole. Most of the time it stays locked in place, but sometimes it weakens or splits apart. When that happens, pieces of this frigid air can break loose and spill southward, unleashing Arctic blasts that reach deep into the United States, even into areas that rarely see such cold. If the polar vortex weakens or shifts, it can override La Niña's typical pattern, bringing extreme cold and snow to places that usually expect milder winters. This is how cities in the south can suddenly find themselves blanketed in snow or dealing with icy roads, catching many off guard. These dramatic disruptions are notoriously hard to predict far in advance. A sudden shift in the jet stream or a wobble in the polar vortex can reshape the entire season in a flash, turning a calm winter into one filled with surprises. So while La Niña provides the background trend, the jet stream and polar vortex are the wild cards, adding twists and turns that keep meteorologists on their toes and everyone else watching the skies. Weather is a complex dance. Long-term patterns like La Niña set the mood, but it's the short-term events, like a sudden dip in the jet stream or a polar vortex outbreak, that bring the real drama and excitement to each winter. That's why forecasts are always evolving as winter unfolds. Meteorologists constantly update their predictions, tracking every shift in the atmosphere to keep us prepared for whatever comes next. It's important to stay alert for sudden changes, especially if the polar vortex starts to wobble or the jet stream takes an unexpected turn. These shifts can bring rapid drops in temperature, surprise snowstorms, or even unseasonable warmth. The interplay of these powerful forces, La Niña, the jet stream, and the polar vortex, ensures that every winter is unique, full of surprises, and a reminder of just how dynamic our planet's weather can be. The Midwest and Northeast are in for a snowy ride this La Niña winter. Frequent clippers will sweep across the Midwest, dropping light, powdery snow and ushering in cold snaps. The Great Lakes will fuel heavy lake-effect snow, especially early in the season. In the Northeast, nor'easters threaten major cities with blockbuster snowstorms and high winds. The active storm track means more chances for big snow events than in recent years. Even small shifts in storm paths can mean the difference between rain and a foot of snow. Bottom line, expect plenty of shoveling, skiing, and sledding from Minnesota to Maine. Winter will make its presence known early and often. This year's La Niña is expected to be weak to moderate, adding some unpredictability. A weaker event means the classic pattern could be interrupted by other factors. Sudden stratospheric warming can disrupt the polar vortex, sending Arctic air south in surprise cold snaps. Another wild card, the Gulf of Mexico is unusually warm, providing extra moisture for storms. When southern storms do form, they could be stronger and wetter than usual. These variables mean the forecast isn't set in stone. Expect surprises. Meteorologists will be watching for sudden shifts and extreme events. The atmosphere is full of wild cards, so stay tuned as the season develops. Even with a La Niña roadmap, winter can still throw curveballs. Compared to recent winters, this La Niña season will feel like a throwback. Recent years saw milder, less snowy conditions in the north due to El Niño. This year, expect a return to classic cold and snow from Chicago to Boston. The south, in contrast, will be drier and warmer than in recent wetter winters. The ENSO cycle drives these dramatic shifts. one year's rain is another's drought. Decades of data show La Niña brings a colder, stormier north and a sunnier, drier south. Winter 2025-2026 is shaping up as a textbook example. Prepare for a season that echoes the classic winters of the past. As we look ahead, it's clear we're entering a classic La Niña winter, one that brings a dramatic split in weather across the country. In the north, residents should brace for colder temperatures and frequent, sometimes intense, snowfalls. Cities and towns from the Midwest to the Northeast will likely see more snow days, making for both beautiful winter scenes and some real challenges. Meanwhile, the South is expected to experience warmer and drier conditions than usual. This means less risk of icy roads, but also a higher chance of drought and water shortages in some areas. For those living in the northern states, it's time to prepare for tricky commutes, increased heating costs, and the need to stay on top of snow removal. But it's not all hardship. There's also the promise of winter fun, from skiing and snowboarding to cozy nights by the fire. Make sure your winter gear is in good shape, and check that your snow removal tools are ready to go before the first big storm hits. Stock up on warm clothing, boots, and all the essentials you'll need to stay safe and comfortable. In the South, take advantage of the mild weather to spend more time outdoors, but don't forget to be mindful of water use. Drought conditions can develop quickly, so it's important to conserve water and stay informed about local restrictions. Even if you're enjoying sunny days, keep an eye on your community's water supply. This winter is a powerful reminder of how interconnected our climate is, how changes in the Pacific Ocean can ripple across the entire United States, shaping our daily lives. While there's always room for surprises in the weather, La Niña gives us a reliable seasonal roadmap to follow. Stay tuned to your local forecasts for updates, and take steps now to be ready for whatever winter brings your way. Preparation is key, whether you're facing snowdrifts or sunshine. Here's to a safe, enjoyable, and memorable season ahead, no matter where you are or what kind of winter you experience this year. Whether you're bundling up for snow or soaking up the sun, make the most of this La Niña winter and stay prepared.